when there are people in the Asian community who think, that Trump somehow is going to help them, they just don't get it. They're not reading. They're not paying attention. They're not listening to actually what he says. And that's what he said last night. We want a point system. So what does a point system mean? No more family members are coming in unless you're a U.S. citizen for your spouse or for your U.S. citizen child. You can't bring in your parents. He issued an order. One of his presidential proclamations on May 22nd said, immigration shut down. No family immigration, except if it's your child or spouse of a U.S. citizen. So I couldn't even bring in my parents if I wanted to tomorrow. They're banned. Okay, brothers and sisters are banned. Residents trying to bring in their children are banned. Residents trying to bring in their spouses are banned. It's all banned. People who are U.S. citizens trying to bring in their married children, banned. People who are U.S. citizens trying to bring in their children who are 21 or over, banned. People trying to bring in people through business, banned. The only thing that he left open is EB-5, and EB-5 is the investor category, which you may remember Jared, his son-in-law's family is very invested in. EB-5 is the program that says if you invest now $900,000 or $1.8 million, you can come in the country if you're employing a certain number of U.S. citizens. So, Jared Kushner's family is very involved in that. He left that. Then he turned his attention to non-immigrants on June 22nd of this year. You cannot come in the United States on an H visa any longer. You cannot come in to the United States on an L visa if you're a transferee of a multinational corporation. If there's a telecommunications company in Haiti and they want to start a subsidiary in the United States, you cannot bring over somebody any longer. Now that's banned as a result of his June 22nd ban. Exchange students, which have been a big part of America's culture and history, that is, we bring students from other countries, from Haiti.
No more exchange.
Right.
I don't.
Okay, the J program was shut down completely. And he said no J visas will be issued any longer on exchange programs. So summer work and travel, students who want to be interns, all of those things are now shut down as a result of his ban. In other words, even if you get a petition approved, you can't come in the United States if you're outside of the country. If you're from Haiti, in a rural area in Haiti, you now have to fill out a financial affidavit that's more complex than you and I would have to if we wanted a loan. That's part of, it's called a 944 form. It's part of the application now to show that you're not going to be a public charge. They want your credit history to determine whether or not you're going to be a public charge. It's a disgrace to what the Statue of Liberty said when it said, give me your tired, your poor, your humbled masses yearning to be free. These people say, well, it doesn't really mean that. What it really means is you have to be self-sufficient. Okay, but that isn't what they really mean. What they really mean is we don't want you here if you're poor, okay? If you're not white, we don't want you here. So this is the mechanism, this public charge mechanism to do it. And so if you don't speak English, there are all these criteria in it. You have to show how much money you have. You have to show whether or not you speak English. You have to show what your level of education is. You have to show what your job is, if you have a job coming into the United States. And I can tell you, I would not be here. Why? Because my father came to the United States. He had a 5th grade education. He barely spoke English. He worked in the construction industry, okay? And he was a very hardworking man, and he knew how important education was in America. And he had 4 sons. One was a doctor, 2 were lawyers, and 1 was an engineer. And that's the American dream. That's the American story. That's the thing that Trump doesn't understand.
It was a pleasure being with you tonight. Our next rendezvous is for next week, same time. Bonsoir.